Nothing beats a little bit of Hall of Fame music to get us going. And in just a moment, we shall be live on Facebook for our District 91 Hall of Fame. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to this virtual stage. As you can see behind me, it's a little bit empty, but unfortunately, we just couldn't bring everyone to that beautiful hall behind me. But next time we can, I promise you all, we will be there in person doing this great party that we just, well, we are the only ones to know how to make those parties just the way we do them. So congratulations and thank you again for joining us this evening. It is my pleasure to welcome you as your current district director, but immediate past product program quality director. I can't even remember the title. This is terrible. But the reality is we have just spent the last 12 months going through our program. We have had so many successes, so many challenges, that this evening is simply about celebrating the amazing achievements and the successes that we've all helped contributing to. Now, before we start formally, I wanted to recognize one person in particular, and this is our PR manager, Susan Rayner, who's tirelessly this week done a ton of advertising, coming up with all of the artwork so that we can all be here this evening. The little picture behind me, because unfortunately it is not my current location, so I'm sorry to say. But certainly Susan has spent enormous amount of time burning the midnight candle, the midnight oil, to really get this event out there on our calendars in just a single week. So congratulations, Susan, for a fantastic job. And I very much expect and suspect we'll have way more of your amazing contribution over the coming weeks and months. But with that, let's get going. And I would like to introduce somebody that I believe many, if not all of you, will have known. Somebody that was our district administration manager for the 2019-2020 program year. Somebody called Ruth Ribeiro. Ruth has been supporting us for the past year in all sorts of different ways, supporting us at our executive council meetings, district council meetings, but also behind the scene, be essentially our friend, the person we can talk to. And Ruth had a message, a personal story that she wanted to share with us all this evening. So Ruth, if you have joined, and I believe you may have joined us, please take the virtual Hall of Fame stage. Please welcome Ruth Ribeiro. And I am not seeing Ruth. Ruth. Oh no. Oh dear. I will come back to Ruth later on. I'm not sure what happened there. This is the beautiful technology side. I didn't see everybody on screen, but that's okay. That is okay. You know, I mentioned somebody else just a moment ago, somebody called Susan. Susan, who's been our PR manager for just about a year, almost a year exactly. And Susan had a small message, but a really important message to share with us again this evening. So over to you, Susan, our public relations manager. Over to you, Susan.
Thank you, Arno. Hello, everybody. I am so pleased with all the outfits everyone has on. I can see the lippy's been out. Are the shoes on? Are the necklaces on? Are the bracelets on? Good. I'm glad to see. Yeah, all the bling is out for show. And I have some bling that actually doesn't belong to me. It needs to find its way to somewhere in Kent. I'm not quite sure. Who is that person there? Oh, yeah. Serena! I don't know if you can't really see it quite so well on the screen, but I have an award for you. And this is to say thank you for being amazing last year and really energising the Division H in all the PR activity you did, not only for your own club, but in the division, and all the hard work that you promote Toastmasters and continue to do so this year. And I just want to say personally, thank you very much, and also thank you for agreeing to be on my team this year. We will make this year even better and more amazing. And so please put your hands together for Serena, my PR of the year for 2019-2020.
Well done, Serena. Thank you very much, Susan. Thank you very much, Susan. Now, the next person I would like to invite to the stage, that stage right here, right behind me, is somebody that I'm sure some of you will know. I'm sure many of you will have spoken to that person as well. And that person is none other than our immediate past District 91 director, the one, the only, the beautiful, the charming, the amazing Florian Bay.
Oh, wow. What a welcome. Thank you very much, Arno. I'm still working on being charming and beautiful. As some people who know me well, I can be a little bit gruff, or even, as we would say in French, bourru at times, under certain conditions only. But look, I'm now retired, so I'm going to be a lot nicer and so on, because I'm not going to be under pressure. And Arno's now in charge. You see, District 91 is a British district run by French people. It's like the Norman invasion all over again. Really, the two best countries in Europe uniting to achieve the extraordinary. And achieving the extraordinary is what, in many ways, the 2019-20 Toastmasters years was all about. I still remember when back a year in June last year, where everything was falling, where all the pieces were falling in pieces. We had the incentives lined up, we had strategic plan lined up, we had everything. And we did what we do best. We started really strongly. On one of the first days of the year, we had the launch meeting of a new club, Moody's, that chartered with 50 members soon afterwards. And this is how we started the year, with a bang, really strong, and really, really, really strongly. And as the year progressed, I kind of started to get quite excited. I'm like, this is going to be a good year. We're going to go high. And the question is, how high are we going to go? Are we going to be the best district in Europe? Could we perhaps be even one of the best in the world this year? And the momentum really pushed us, and we were sailing on this wave. And even at the end of February, where there were still a lot of cool things happening, I was really optimistic. And then, as we all know, COVID-19 changed. And I never thought, when Jean Gamster interviewed me 3 years ago and told me, you're on a 4-year journey now of leadership, that I would end up being a district director during a pandemic. I have always been interested in kind of apocalyptic situation and what could happen, how could you rebuild the world in that situation. And many years ago, I kind of read a bit of an online novel where there's a nuclear war happening and then people have to start and rebuild and so on. And there's one of the characters that has to make a decision. And I somehow identified with that character, the controller, he was called. And when COVID-19 kind of hit us in March, I realized I am now the controller. And it was exciting. It was really scary. But I did not expect for many times that we would move online so seamlessly as we did. The day the emails went out to make the decision, I was bracing myself for loads of phone calls and all of emails coming on Friday the 13th of March, Friday the 13th. But it was surprisingly quiet. And that evening, when we had the town hall, the first of many large Zoom meetings, questions were asked, issues were raised, and solutions to problems were found that same day. And Adrian said, we've got an online meeting in Children's Speakers tomorrow. The ball was already starting to roll. And we were planning amazing things for in-person conference in Canary Wharf. We had a great keynote speaker lined up. We had some people that were due to fly from Russia, from America, from all over Europe and the world. And we had to move all of this online. And I know it was a challenge, and a challenge that we overcome through innovation, through John saying, yes, we can. We gave him a free ride, and we had an amazing event as a result. And in the past couple of days, actually, I've had a number of interesting discussions with Toastmasters colleagues and also people in Toastmasters HQ. When somebody in Toastmasters HQ that I shall not name said 2 days ago, what District 91 is doing is more advanced than what the organization itself is doing. You are a couple of years ahead of World Headquarters. And this spirit of innovation, of really forging ahead and doing things, is the reason why we were able to achieve extraordinary things this year. Yes, COVID-19 hit us and hit us hard. I would say that in terms of the members that did not renew and the members that we didn't recruit because guests are a lot harder to come by, we may have lost up to 1,200 members in District 91. But in spite of that, as I've said once and I'll say it again tonight, we carried on meetings when McDonald's stopped serving. We carried on meeting when the whole world shut down, when borders got closed, where airlines stopped flying, when entire companies and businesses shut down. We, Toastmasters in District 91, prevailed. And I am extremely proud of this. As a district, we've achieved some amazing things this year, and I've got a couple of persons I want to recognize as part of that. But first of all, let's kind of look at this. Distinguished district. And we actually were more than a distinguished district in some respect. Paid club. We could have been select distinguished. Distinguished club. With the number of presidents distinguished club alone, we would have been a select distinguished district in District 91, because excellence is what we do. Excellence is in our lifeblood. We build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence is the district mission. And we in District 91 live and breathe excellence. We innovate. We create amazing maps, amazing graphics, amazing videos, and put on amazing online event because we can. Because we can. Nobody could have predicted that we would move online seamlessly, but we did. And other districts in other parts of the world haven't been as lucky as us in some respect. But we overcame. We did it. And we became a distinguished district. Now, of course, many of you knows me. They know I'm a competitive guy. I would have loved us to be a slightly distinguished district. We didn't achieve that, but we became a distinguished district in the midst of a pandemic, one of only 21 districts in the world to do it, and one of only 3 districts in Europe to do it. But there's another thing that we achieved that I'm very proud of. It's something that I actually wanted just as much, if not more, as a distinguished district. This is something called the 20 Plus Awards. Every year, the top 3 districts in the world who have the highest percent of club with 20 plus members are recognized. And when Deepak Menon called me last week and said, congratulations on your years, this is what you've achieved, he confirmed to me that we achieved the 20 plus award, with apparently 78% something of clubs. The data from the dashboard from HQ only say 76%. Who cares? We achieved it. That's the main thing. And this is the top 3 districts in the world. The second place, District 102, well, they're not really a district. It's the Pakistan Territorial Council. The first in the world, District 116, Qatar. They're full of energy. They've been flying with the bank. And 95% is where we could perhaps have been had COVID-19 not hit us. But yet, we ended up in the top 3. The last 2 weeks of the Toastmaster year were a bit insane. I'm a numbers guy, and when Eleanor started to come up with numbers faster than I did, I was like, okay, this is starting to change her. And there's even at one point where I kind of fell asleep during the day and had a bit of a snooze, and I started dreaming about the Toastmasters dashboard. Really, this is what the last 2 weeks of the term were like. This scrum, this rush. And there are a number of people that really went the extra mile in helping the district there. There's Antonia Harrison, who really did everything she could to charter shilling speakers and really help us getting the membership we needed as a district to become distinguished. There's Bob Bowles, Elsie Campos in Romford. They wanted to get over the mile. It had been some time since the application to organize was, they had to do it. It was quit or double. They doubled it and they made it. But there are plenty of clubs that also kind of started to rise again like phoenixes in the last few weeks of the term. We had some Mo Valley speakers, a club that we thought would be dead and now has 21 members because we told them in a gentle but firm way, you can do this. And they did it in the last week of the term. And I'm very proud of us having achieved the 20 Plus award. This is a testament to the amazing work that we all did. There will be an online Hall of Fame at the convention, which is going to be free and online this year. Come and celebrate. We're going to be recording a video, myself and the trio, in a few days' time, apparently. Come and celebrate. It will be great. But now I'd like to recognize some people and some club who truly went the extra mile this year and really played a part in us being a distinguished club, a distinguished district and an excellent district. Oh, and we got some extra awards as well. The Silver Online Ovation Awards that TI introduced and the membership payments, well, we got bronze. We got bronze for that one because we're third place in the region for the thing. It's some new extra awards. We didn't particularly aim to get these, but we got them. Great. Now for the fun part. The Toastmaster of the Year. Well, it's the one and only Lord Zoom, Mr. John Drinkwater. Somebody that kind of really made it happen through technology. Excellence or excellency, dare I say, through technology. John Drinkwater made it happen. And John, this is very well deserved. I know you want your trophy. I will give it to you in person when Epsom Speakers starts meeting again. So fingers crossed, it will all be in October. I have a number of trophies and I do want to give them in person because I think this is very important to recognize that. You don't want to get them in the post, really. Come on, it's not so cool. The Division Director of the Year, another person that did amazing events for the district. It's Liang Tili of Division K. When the district conference team was looking for speakers for their May conference, at one point I heard, well, we wanted to approach that person, but Liang did it before us. Liang, you had 3 world champion of public speaking in your division contest. Well done. That's excellence. That's serving the members. Area Director of the Year. Well, this person and I actually had a bit of an interesting start to our relationship in some respect. Back when she and I started working with her, and it was a bit fire and water-ish initially. But we started to get to know each other. We got to work with each other. And this person stepped up, helping the conference team, still being active in TLIs right now, and really supporting the clubs in her area really well. And that is Anya Sims of Area C5. Anya, I'm looking forward to give you this award to you in Covent Garden speakers, which means I'm going to have to wake up at 5 in the morning to go to a Toastmaster meeting. I haven't done that one for a while. Now, some exceptional contribution awards. Monika Świderska. Some of you may have seen maps on the district website and they're like, oh, they're great and so on. They're just, they're amazing maps. Well, she's the one that made these maps happen. They take a lot of work. She actually told me you should do a course on cartography. I did that course, and cartography is actually a lot of work. It's a lot of attention to detail. And even something as simple as changing the color of a layer can be quite fiddly. She made it happen. Alignment had amazing maps. There are amazing maps that we can use for strategic planning as well. We know where the members are in relation to club. Amazing. Monica is a star. Adrian Lane, educational innovation. Yes, we can. Reason to be Chilterns. What more can be said? And supporting other club, Leighton Buzzard and all the other clubs in that part of the world. Annelise Lepage. Now, Annelise is kind of one of the unsung heroes of District 91 because for a number of years, she's been really active in building club, in rebuilding club, helping Beckenham, Experience French more recently. And whenever there's a need for somebody to give a hand, Annelise raises their hands and say, yes, we can. She's now taking part in the Odyssey project, which is a European-wide mentoring and networking initiative. We've got a couple of representatives there on this call. Great. Annelise is just great. Diane Richardson, the graphics. Now, some of you know that I like the Toastmaster font and so on, and a few of you have been on the receiving end of my tirade on this. I think Diane is worse than me. The level of attention to detail, even the position of a G of a column from her is just amazing. But this is thanks to her that we've got amazing material, that on PR this year, that we're going to have some amazing posters and amazing videos. It takes time to make it happen. Diane made it happen and also served as area director and now as the Division D director for the brand new digital Dauntless division. And Nadia Ahmedi. She's somebody that always says yes. And it mustn't be forgotten that Nadia continued to support Air Club while being a key worker earlier in the year. She still is a key worker. She works for the NHS. So she's been quite busy with what's been going on. A few of us as leaders have, but we still carried on supporting the district, supporting our club, and most importantly, supporting our members. Now, the Club of the Year. We had a bit of a discussion at the district leadership team of which club should be our Club of the Year. I'm a numbers guy, but I did not want this to be all about numbers. So I opened it up for nomination and for other things as well. And there's one club that really stood out for a lot of us, and that club is Oxford Speakers. First in the Pathways Progress Awards leaderboard, 1010 President Distinguished, but also the new club of Didcot and Whitney, they supported them. They gave them, I think there was a bit of sponsoring with equipment, with money. There was kind of sending members over, sending expertise over. That makes a difference. Starting a new club is not easy. And when you get a bit of help or a lot of help, as was the case for the Oxford club, that makes it easier. That's why these new clubs charted so quickly in some respect. So Oxford Speakers, I haven't really been properly in Oxford for a while. I know you got an amazing venue. In October, fingers crossed, I'm so looking forward to visiting you and giving you this award in person. But there have been some other great clubs in the district this year. Reading Verizon Toastmasters, a club that has been running for 3 years, but really went the extra mile this year. They hosted some technology-themed events, some debates with AI. They became President Distinguished. They got some very senior people in the company to champion them. Really, really a role model for many corporate Toastmaster programs in our district. And I know they're keen to share that expertise and further in the future. Amwick Speakers. I believe the new president of Amwick Speaker is there. Amwick is a club that says, yes, we can. They're the only club outside of London that meets every week. This is not a small thing. A weekly club is 50 meetings a year. It's not easy to organize. They did it. 50 members, a huge number of educational awards, very competitive in some respect, always helping the others. Amwick Speakers, really one of the stars of the year. Infinium Milton, another corporate Toastmaster program. This is a club that used to meet every fortnight a year ago. They now meet every week. They celebrated their 100th meeting during the year. And they are a club that engage. They're always there to support the area event, area contest, and so on. They are part of the community, and they've always been helping others. And they're definitely a club to watch out in the coming years. And it's a club that I believe very firmly will be producing district leaders pretty soon. And they've got a gorgeous cat at reception, which also helps as well. I am a cat person, as the president remarked when he saw me petting the cat at reception. But hey, nobody's perfect, but I like Eleanor's dog. Chiltern speakers. The reasons to be Chilterns. Why? Excellence. The meetings are run like clockwork. And I was privileged to attend their annual general meeting a year or so ago. They explained to the members, this is what we've done this year. This is how we spend our money. This is how we do certain things. And this is why you should join the club. And they're really reaching out. They've got a lot of young people interested in joining the club. Some members are 18 years old. They've got some guests that are 16, 17, cannot join, unfortunately, because they need to be 18. But they are building the future of Toastmasters in the Chilterns. Keep it up, and potentially have a think of spawning and breeding the excellence all over the Chilterns. Because we should never forget that District 91, the genesis of Toastmasters in Great Britain, it was really in the Chilterns, Aylesbury and Oxford. So maybe there's something in the water there. Speakers of Croydon. They invited the mayor of Croydon to their meetings in December. 1010 DCP, 40 members, growing, high retention and a lot of energy, and really being active socially in the wider H15 area, because it's important to foster this community at the area level. Great club and really a representation of Croydon. This is a club that represents its community, a true community club. And I'm told that this lady that was the mayor of Croydon wants to join once her term is over. So just take that. We're going to be training the next generation of politicians in Toastmasters. That's going to be quite interesting. Berkeley Square speakers, one of our morning clubs, always been great. Supporting the others, achieving excellence, lots of members getting level 1 and also fostering leadership as well. And I believe this is it from me. I've got plenty of awards. I've got a whole pile of them on the thing over there. But I will be giving them in person when we can meet in person again. Fingers crossed it will be as soon as possible. It's been an amazing year, and we did well last year. My challenge to all of you is this year, let's do even better. And that's back to you, Arno.
Thank you very much, Florian. And absolutely, there's been so many achievements. And I would even say we've only started to scratch the surface of what we can achieve. Certainly the last few months, if that's what we go by, I've demonstrated that not only we can thrive in change, but we've demonstrated that we can thrive in change and do even more than we normally do. And that is testament to all of us in this room this evening, all of us in our clubs beyond this border. And ultimately, it is down to our ability to get things done. So thank you once again, Florian, for your leadership last year. I've got big shoes to fill, but I have no doubts that together we will have a fantastic year again. Now, let's go back. Let's see. I believe Ruth has now joined us. Ruth was our administration manager for the past year. And Ruth was our friends. Ruth was a person that we can always have that casual conversation with, but also the person that allowed us to have and maintain good quality meetings for our executive council meeting, our district council meetings. And with that, I would like to invite Ruth to share perhaps a small story and certainly her experience of the past year. Ruth, please welcome and join us into the virtual Hall of Fame. Over to you, Ruth.
Oh, there you go. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'd just love to say what a pleasure it was being part of the district team as this admin manager. And I wrote a couple of memories, so I will kind of read from some of my memories. So what made me decide to become a district admin manager? I'd previously really enjoyed my year as club president at Riverside Communicators, with 68 members at its peak. As part of that experience, I attended an International Toastmasters convention in Chicago in August 2018. I loved it so much that in August 2019, I attended the International Convention in Denver, Colorado. That's where I met the district team. I was approached there in Denver by Florian Bay, the district director, and Andy Hammond, immediate past district director, and asked if I would like to join the district team as district administration officer. I guess I just said yes when the opportunity arose. I was part of what would become a close-knit team for a whole year, checking in with each other for 1 hour every Sunday evening from 8 to 9 p.m. I attended the district council meeting in September 2019 and found myself taking minutes on the top table with the district trio: the parliamentarian, the treasurer, the immediate past president, and the district VP PR, in front of an audience of area district directors. I did not really know what to expect. It took me some time to put those minutes together, as the meetings lasted 3 to 4 hours. It was a test of perseverance and taught me to confront my fear of deadlines. I also had to exercise great self-discipline at home after long days in the office. Next, I found myself attending district executive committee meetings and taking on the minutes of those meetings. For one such meeting, we travelled all the way to Brighton. The district team regularly met up independently for planning sessions at a hotel near Gatwick. When you work for the district team, it's not like being on the committee of your club, as the team live quite far apart and one has to find a location that is accessible to all. As a result of doing the district admin role, I am now a more self-disciplined writer. I have always had a flair for grammar, editing and spelling because of my early training, studying Russian and Spanish at university. I saw grammar as play, but was largely unfocused when it came to tackling large projects. I have more self-confidence now when it comes to expressing myself on paper, and I've since taken up creative writing as a means of self-expression in processing emotions. One of the highlights from my year was meeting Lark Doley, past international director who had flown over specially from Austin, Texas, at our first January TLI, and taking her out to dinner in the evening with the district team. I was there at her inauguration speech in Chicago in 2018, and it was really lovely seeing her again, this time in England. I was tasked with buying her a small gift to the value of £30. I ended up going to the supermarket and buying as many British products that I could think of, and then awarding them one by one on stage. Other highlights from this year were being the face of Toastmasters, buying breakfast for the team and greeting fellow Toastmasters at a studio in Camden when Susan Rayner, the district PR manager, filmed the My Why videos. Attending as many humorous speech contests as I could in different areas, looking out for the team and providing moral support. I remember seeing Florian Bay drinking a stiff coffee with a look of yuck on his face, stressed and nervous at the start of his role in one of the events at Paul's. I remember Andy Hammond treating us to biscuits and pastries in the meeting in Gatwick, and having a McDonald's burger with Florian and Arno en route home from one of the division events. It was a small, humbling treat on a shoestring budget. Speaking up has always been uncomfortable for me. However, the more I am exposed to the fun and nurturing team collaboration in Toastmasters, the more alive and free I feel. We Toastmasters are committed to excellence, and excellence for me meant learning to accept myself and my talents and get the job done, even if I'd rather be networking, as I really get my energy from being around people. This year I've taken on an area director role and can tell already I feel more at ease relating back and forward between the different clubs in my area and building rapport with area directors and division directors. It's more reminiscent of the club presidency year, whereas the district admin role was more like the VPE role in terms of challenge, more hard graft when it comes to the actual task one is in charge with. I'd like to, it was an absolute pleasure being part of the district team, and whilst we do provide each other with tremendous support, there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that some very serious work gets done, and I take my hat off to the team because they're simply amazing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ruth. What a wonderful story. The year in 10 minutes of a district administration manager. All of these stories make up what we do within the DLT. And I'm sure many of you may sometimes wonder, what are we doing? How are we doing things? Well, let me simply say, what we do is very simple. We support you all. We make sure that the day-to-day running of our clubs just happen as much as we can enable it. But we're also here to listen to you. And if anything, Ruth is one of those persons that can certainly listen and put an ear to any issue, any problem, or any joy for that matter that we may bring to the table. And for that, I will be personally and forever grateful for Ruth's term with us last year. So thank you so much, Ruth, once again. Next, I would like to bring somebody else that I'm sure all of you, most of you, and I'm sure all of you will have spoken to or will speak to over the coming weeks and certainly over the last many years. This person has had a number of roles already on the DLT in the years gone by, from administration manager. So she knows very well what Ruth has gone through. PR manager for the district. So she knows exactly what Susan has gone through and is still going through so far this year. But this person is also our current program quality director. And last year had the arduous task of trying to come up with about 500,000 clubs to build on order from Florian. So with that, please welcome Helena Boden-Brewer.
Thank you very much, Arno. No exaggeration on the 500,000, I think there, as where we were going. And it was, you know, a fantastic start to our year, as Florian has pointed out. We had this amazing start to our Toastmasters year. We planned for everything. We were thinking, brilliant. We know exactly what's going to be going on. We have our incentives lined up. And then, unfortunately, a few things went in a different direction. And some of you know that as part of the district leadership team, we go for training, and we have training in January. And we were all in Paris with our other fellow districts and having a chat with all of the other sort of district directors and regional advisors. And, you know, the international president was there and everyone was all buoyed up because we were all, you know, ready to go for the second part of the year. And there was this sort of strange thing happening in China, which didn't seem to enter any of our thoughts when we were planning for the next couple of months. And, you know, everything then just went in another direction. And I think it's testament to the leadership and the adaptability of this year's leadership team that we were able to make those changes and bring everybody else with us that wanted to come along, because so many clubs just went, we're with you, we're coming online, safety first for our members and for us. So fantastic. So big shout out for everybody that did that at the time. It was just so quick, so effortless, and it just made our life easier. When people were saying, have you gone online? I went, absolutely. And I can tell you what, I don't know how many Zoom masters we actually have, but we do have the Lord of the Zoom. So we've got the Lord. So we've got the Lord of the Zoom, and everybody else is fitting in behind that. So we're fantastic that our members are getting used now of launching polls, running meetings online, all of these skills which they may not have been as comfortable with before, but they are now. And the other thing that Florian's also mentioned is the fact that I have a dog. If any of you haven't seen pictures of my dog, she's often on my Facebook posts, and she's also on my computer as well. And occasionally she appears in the middle of some of our meetings. And as Ruth was just talking about our Sunday evening meetings, there have been moments where my dog's face has just appeared in there instead of me. She's just taken over the meeting and decided to talk about club growth for me, because she was across it as well. So she's really enjoyed being part of the Toastmasters team this year, and I am going to get her a Toastmasters bandana when that it becomes available, because I think it's appropriate. And that's what we've been doing. We've been a really great team this year. We've pulled together in a time of a crisis, and we've delivered. And if somebody would have said it, how many clubs can you actually achieve? How many new clubs? Well, we went into lockdown and we suddenly had a club charter again. And then we had another club charter, and suddenly lockdown didn't stop us. And lockdown didn't stop us getting new members as well. So from the beginning of the year, when we had Moody's, closely followed by Zigzag, and we then had Accurist and legacy speakers of Brixton, Vocalize, all of these clubs started to pile on in. We had Ace of Clubs, we had Amazon, we've got Oracle NetSuite. We've got, who else have I got on my list here? Oh, we've got the workshop speakers. All of these clubs started coming along. So we were well on track. And then suddenly we had Bank Street. And who else have we got coming in? The first club in lockdown, Didcot speakers. And I was just amazed. They were so organised on that online meeting when they voted to charter. Fantastic work for the president of that club at that time. So well done for them all, for Miriam and everybody involved in that. And I know Nikita's probably on this as well today. So well done for Nikita, because she was a club sponsor on that. Really hard work went into that, and fantastic for them. Then we have Burnham Speakers, and Burnham Speakers is in my neck of the woods as well. And I went along to the demonstration meeting, the launch meeting of that club. And it's fantastic because Nick pulled together so many experienced Toastmasters from across the area to come and help him. And again, division directors, why have one when you can have two? And we had Mike Burrows and we had Nikita Parks both coming to support that event as well. And it was that sort of leadership which continued through the year. It wasn't just because you're in one division, you weren't helping somebody else out. We saw that collaboration happen in so many different ways across the year. We then obviously towards the conference time, we had another club quickly coming along. We've already mentioned Oxford speakers were supporting them, Whitney speakers, and that was Mary Robson and all of the team there. So well done for all of them that got that club over the line. But quietly in the background, well, I was getting some interesting Facebook posts, and I don't know how many people follow a lot of the clubs on Facebook, but I tell you what, they're quite entertaining, and I really quite enjoy Reigate Rhetoric. I always have a bit of a chuckle at some of the things that go onto their Facebook feed, and I always like it. And again, they got to that point and they were ready to charter, and it was fantastic to see. We've already referenced Romford speakers coming to the end there. They needed to get over the line, and they did. And my hat is firmly off to Antonia Harrison for chartering Shilling speakers, as she did on, I think it's the 29th of June, which is just fantastic, and obviously really helped us with our membership payments as well as our paid clubs. And I think that's a testament. Florian's already referenced, it was getting a bit tight at the end of the year. Nikita had started working with us on trying to encourage other people to renew. We'd had a few other ideas and suggestions. Hilary Briggs had become involved. So there was a team of people working behind the scene. And as Florian referenced, I started getting into numbers. And if anybody knows me well, numbers aren't my thing usually. Well, I did. And it was called the Daily Dashboard. And I was encouraging people and letting them know where we were up to on the numbers and how many people had renewed and what was going on with the clubs. And it was just fun and games. And because one or two people were privately messaging me, I think there were words of encouragement to continue the Daily Dashboard, but it was quite entertaining. When it stopped, I did get a few thankful sighs of relief for many people, because everybody realised the importance of getting their clubs over the line, getting their clubs distinguished, and still had goals to aim for. And it wasn't just about the club goals, it was the members' goals and making sure the members had their educational awards processed. And we all now know that Basecamp stands alone. You've got to put them into Club Central. And boy, was there a bit of a push for making sure everything was in Club Central on those last few days of the Toastmasters year. So thank you to all of those clubs that charted. I have, and it's not going to come up well, I haven't taken out the box because on the virtual screen it doesn't work as well, but I have these. I have them all for you all. And they're all in these lovely boxes and they're all in here for you. So I will get them to you. I may not do a Florian and walk around the towns to find you all. I will probably post them. But on my doorstep is Burnham Speakers, and I would love to make the effort to go along when I can get to a face-to-face meeting, or at least maybe do a virtual handover, or maybe a real handover. I can just leave the box outside my door. Nick Bailey can walk past. I'll take a photograph and he can do a runner with it. Maybe we can set that up and share that with you. No, it was fantastic. So thank you all for chartering your clubs, and a big shout out from me to Bob Bowes, who was my club extension chair last year, who looked after all of the London clubs for me. And particularly when we were in Denver and Accurist came from nowhere, Bob had to deal with all of that, and the club charted in a nanosecond. So everyone in London, Accurist, Toastmasters, wow, that was such a quick turnaround. And it charted by the time we got back from Denver. That's how quick things can happen. So really good for them. Now, my other award, this particular club has had a few challenges in the last couple of years. And I've heard of them from the then area director and later their division director, and the work and effort that was going on in the background to make sure that this club got itself back into good standing, got itself a little bit more stable, got its members moving forward, getting educational awards, getting points, being distinguished and focusing, and remember to set themselves goals and achieving goals. That club success plan suddenly became a Bible as far as I can work out. They knew what they needed to do. It's the stepping stones to get there. And you know what? Planning for success, and you will get there. And it's my great pleasure to have this award for Armada Speakers. So Armada Speakers, I have an award for you. You can't really see it, but it's in here. And this is the Phoenix Award for the hard work and effort that you as members did to make sure that you are in good standing, you're an excellent club, and people want to come and be members there. And I would just like to say, Mike Burrows, thank you, because I know you did a lot of work in the background to help this club. And it's just fantastic to see and recognise that achievement. So as we go into this next year, well, I'm Programme Quality Director. I'm here to support you. I'm here to support you in the educational goals now. Woohoo! Let's see where that goes with Pathways, Basecamp Manager, and all the fun and games for the year ahead. I can't wait to see how well all of you members and all the district leaders do this year, because you know what? Who knows what this year is going to throw at us, but it can't be, we've learned so much so far. I'm sure it'll be fantastic for our year ahead. So thank you for your continued support, and thank you for all of the members that are on here today and all of the district leaders that have come back to join this Hall of Fame, because we wouldn't be doing this without you. So thank you very much, and back to Arno. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Helena. And what a great achievement. You know, building a club is probably one, if not the hardest thing you can do in the Toastmasters program. That, together with coaching successfully a club, these, from my perspective, would be two of the biggest challenges anybody would want to face within the Toastmaster environment. And yet, despite all of these challenges, as you heard, we have managed to charter, I believe, 17 clubs in total over the course of the past year. This is tremendous. This is huge. And it could have been even bigger had this little inconvenient virus not struck us in the middle of March. But thank you so much, Helena, for all of the contribution over the past year. Thank you, Bob, and thank you everyone on the club growth team and the membership team to help us get to the point where we finished on the 30th of June. So thank you so much, everyone. Now, I would like to move on to our next speaker. And our next speaker is also somebody that I'm sure many of you would have spoken to over the course of this several years. And that person is, or was until the 30th of June, the immediate past district director. And I'd like to hand over the floor to Andy Hammond. Over to you, Andy. Welcome to the District Hall.
Thank you very much, Arno. Well, I will be quite brief because I have announced this award previously at our May conference in Ashford. But I wanted to recognise again as publicly as possible this person because they have been exceptional. Some of you will know Bob Nisbet. Many of you will not know Bob, but you will have seen him. If you cast your mind back to the last time we had a conference in person at Ashford, all the sound systems, the microphones, the speakers, there was a guy at the back of the hall working tirelessly all hours, setting that up from Friday morning through to Sunday night. Every time I went into the hall, whether it was after we'd been in the bar in the early hours of the morning or first thing before breakfast, Bob was always there. And he did that for years, not just for District 91, but going way back to District 71. And he was a great supporter of me. Ashford was my conference as district director. And Bob has been an exceptional friend over the years. So I was proud to give him, you can't see it, an appreciation award for outstanding distinguished service. Because people like Bob, we're all volunteers, I know, but some of us get the limelight, some of us don't. And Bob has done so much. And I'm looking forward to going up to Guildford, hopefully later this year, and giving it to him in person because he's a great friend. And it's people like Bob that just make things happen. And he did all that. He even pays his own conference ticket when he goes to conference. And he never gets to see any of it because he's stuck in the corner behind the equipment. So those of you who know Bob, next time you see him, thank him from all of us. If you don't, you still need to thank him anyway, because without people like Bob, we just wouldn't succeed. So a big shout out to Bob Nisbet. Thanks, Arno.
Thank you very much, Andy, and certainly fantastic congratulations going to Bob Nisbet as well. Just for the little story, Bob is one of the first person that I've met when I first became a district officer. For some reason, Bob was, I believe at the time, in fact, no, I was club president and Bob was our division director. And I have fond memories of Bob visiting us in Sandwich, in the far east of Kent, at the Toasted Sandwich, our most easterly club in our district. And I will always remember that conversation that him and I and our club leadership team were having at lunchtime in a work cafeteria. It was a fascinating conversation, and I will always remember that that conversation very fondly. So thank you so much, Andy, for honoring Bob for his many years of contribution. Next up, the next person is me. Oh, what am I going to talk about? Now, what I wanted to share with you this evening is very simple. As Program Quality Director last year, the role was all about education, education, education. This is historically, as a district, one of the most amazing measures we always have. If you look through the records, we always have a fantastic track record in terms of education, in terms of distinguished clubs, in terms of pretty much any educational award. We strive for excellence. As Florian said, this is what we do, and we could have done even better this past year. But doing even better from a basis of doing already amazing is quite an astonishing feat. And I've got to share with you some amazing numbers that are just short of amazing. Over the past Toastmaster year, we have achieved across all of our clubs 2,267 educational awards. Yes, 2,267. This is a good 50% more than we've ever done in the past. Now, let me comment on this. This is primarily due to Pathways. Pathways was introduced as a mechanism to improve and bring added value to our educational program. And Pathways is also there to recognize the progress of our members more rapidly on a more regular basis. And we have achieved this. Many of our new awards this year that have contributed to such a rise in the number of educational awards are Pathways awards. And we are well on our way to be a fully Pathways enabled district. Some of our members still need to enroll themselves in Pathways, but now this is our only educational program. And I have no doubt that under the leadership of Helena, we will get to 100% of Pathways enrollment across our district. So this is the first number that I wanted to share with you. Too many names to spell out this evening, but they are available on the dashboard if you are interested to look at the detail. The next number that I wanted to share with you is something that is also just an amazing award, the Triple Crown Award. This is something that we recognize and Toastmasters recognize for all of our members that achieve 3 or more educational awards through a Toastmaster year. So over the course of 12 months, achieving 3 or more awards gives you that Triple Crown. The Triple Crown is essentially going to be a pin, and many of those pins are in the post and will be posted over the coming weeks to those that have received it. And once again, we have smashed all records on this particular measure. Historically, we had anything between 100, 120 Triple Crowns. This year, we had 196, another 50% increase. Again, led a little bit by the advance of Pathways and more awards being awarded more regularly. But nevertheless, this is an astonishing result to have so many Triple Crown. And this is a good problem that I now have to ship and send all of those pins to those 196 members. So congratulations to all of you that have achieved this. Now, again, 196 names is still too many names to name them all, but I wanted to recognize one person in particular that over the course of the last Toastmaster year has only achieved the Triple Crown several times over. In fact, an order of magnitude over. That person is Rose Etwaria. Rose has managed to achieve and bank 40 educational award over the past year. So this is an astonishing result, an astonishing number, frankly. And I really wanted to recognize that in person for this amazing contribution. Ros also gave this just this afternoon at the Division KTLI a whole session on Pathways, and she knows all about it. So certainly please reach out. I'm sure Ros will be more than happy to visit your club or support you some other ways. Over the past couple of years, we had another award called the Pathfinder Award, recognizing the members that are achieving one whole path. And this is, once again, an unbelievable number. Every time I look at the numbers, every time I look at who achieves what award, and I'm always astonished to see those numbers. In the past year, 47 of our members have achieved one path. And this is, again, absolutely wonderful to see the progress that all of our members are doing in Pathways, building on their skills and developing new skills as they progress. So this is an absolutely wonderful reward for all of us as a district. Now the next number, because I love these numbers, DTM. Does anybody know what DTM stands for? Don't time me. Distinguished Toastmaster is the real answer. Now, again, on average, we have between 20 and 30 DTM awards every year. This year, we only had 62. Yes, 62. This is just phenomenal as an achievement, because the Distinguished Toastmaster Award is by far the most treasured, but also the award that takes the longest, but also the most effort to reach in all sorts of different ways, whether it is leading projects, supporting clubs, building clubs, simply delivering speeches. DTMs only account in our district for just about 5% of our members. So welcome to those 62 new distinguished Toastmasters. Welcome to District 91. Now, there is another award that we've not really been talking about so much, because it's an award that we can't really discuss until the end of the year when everything is all said and done. And that is the First Class Award. Some of you, and I hope every one of you, will remember our district vision. And this first number, one educational award per year per member. And this was a challenge that was sent to all of our clubs this year. The First Class Award was there to recognize those clubs that managed to get, on average, one or more educational award per year per member within the club. And I'm very pleased to report that in the past year, 7 of our clubs have achieved this. And I'm going to read out the names. And some of those names have also been recognized earlier in other categories. And you see a theme here. Performance and excellence very much shine through everything we do. So congratulations to the following club for winning the First Class Award: Camberley Speakers, Salisbury Speakers, Armada Speakers, Polish Your Polish, Gatwick Communicators, Oxford Speakers, and Voice of Wales. Congratulations for the amazing work that you have done for your members over the course of the past year. Now, as Program Quality Director, there are a number of other things that fall under the remit of the role, and one of which was our contest. And I just wanted to remind everyone the 4 winners of our district finals earlier back in May. Our international speech contest winner was Robin Sundstrom. Our humorous speech contest winner was Paula Podesta. And our evaluation and table topic contest winner was one person, and that person was Chris Murphy. So congratulations once again to those members that have achieved the highest recognition at the contest within our district. This has been a fantastic event. There is one more thing that I wanted to also share with you and recognize. Every year we run a conference, and this year was no different, except that we had to change plans just a little bit. We had to go from a whole conference sited in the heart of Canary Wharf to a meeting and a conference over 2 days hosted online only. Typically, at a regular district conference in our district, we do something along the lines of 300 participants. And this year, we have achieved over 800 participants throughout those 2 days, coming from all over the world. Every single continent had at least one person attending our District 91 conference. And that can only be recognized through the amazing work that our conference director, Diana Robertson, and her team have achieved in order to make this happen. Diana managed to very rapidly move from an in-person setup to an online setup, bring all of the PR together to make sure everything was reflected just fine. Make sure that we not only had great speakers, but international speakers from all over the globe. And that is what allowed our District 91 conference this year to be so amazing. Clearly, many people spent a lot of effort to recognize this. And this is another one too many to even name in this short time that I have. But well over 60 people supported our conference this year. And I'll be forever thankful for all of the work that Diana and her team have achieved to get us on the map of the world as probably the biggest conference so far this year, short of the International Convention. But again, this is coming up later in August. So with that, these are the achievements that we have done on the program quality side of things. This was an absolutely amazing result for the year, despite all odds, despite some of the challenges we had. And I would need to thank you all once again for all of the work that you have put in and all of the efforts that you've produced in order to make us who we are in District 91. So congratulations, everyone, and let's give ourselves a big round of applause. Now, this meeting, this Hall of Fame, is all about recognizing our district achievements. And there's only one way to conclude the formal part of today's meeting than handing over back to our immediate past district director, Florian Bay, for some concluding comments. Over to you, Florian.
Thanks very much. Thank you very much, Arno, for this overview. It has been an amazing year and an extraordinary years of overcoming adversity and achieving the extraordinary in spite of everything that was happening around us. We charted new club. We had more members than ever achieving awards. We did it in very difficult circumstances. If you were a leader last year at any level, reflect back on this and just think about what you've done, because what you've done is the extraordinary. I said it before, I'll say it again. District 91 and Toastmasters carried on meeting when McDonald's stopped serving. It's cheesy, but think about it for a moment. That's enough for me for this evening. It's been a great night, and I believe now we're moving to the more informal part of the meeting.